Hey, welcome back. Simon Lees here again. Time for a guitar lesson. Well, this isn't so much how to play the guitar, it's more or less what to do with the guitar, with the different controls and the different settings that you can use to make different sounds. So, first I'm going to talk about the pickups. What are they? Why are they there? The pickups allow us to basically plug the guitar into an amp so you can make it louder, you know. So the guitar by itself, the electric guitar anyway, this is quite a loud example of an electric guitar, but it's you know, it's still not as loud as an acoustic, and you certainly couldn't even sit in a church and sort of play a tune on this without amplifying it. So that's what the pickup's job is. And on most guitars you have at least two pickups. One is sitting pretty close to where the fretboard finishes, and the other one is quite close to where the bridge is. So this one's known as the bridge pickup, and this one's known as the neck pickup because it's close to the neck. The reason we have two pickups like this, rather than just, you know, think, why don't you just have one, is because you get different sounds depending on which part of the string is being picked up. So I mean, I can sort of demonstrate this. In fact, if I plug in, and I'm going to get myself a clean sound. So cool. Yeah, let's turn that up a little bit. At the moment, the bridge pickup is activated. I know that because the switch is pointing downwards. So let's just show you that. So that switch there, that can go up, and that's for the neck pickup. In the middle, it's both pickups at the same time, and when it's down, it's just the bridge pickup. And it's pretty much the same on all guitars. Some guitars, like a Strat or a Jackson, the pickup selector switch is set at an angle which makes it quite easy to hit, you know, and sort of get control, especially, you know, you can use your little finger for that. It's a nice design. But either way, usually when the switch is down, it's the bridge pickup. So if I'll just turn the volume off a sec. If I pick the string by the bridge, I'll try it amplified. You get quite a tinny, brash, sort of harsh sound. You know, it's not a smooth sound. It's quite cutting. Now, without changing the pickup, if I pick it close to the neck, you get a completely different sound. But having the pickup by close to the neck, that really sort of exaggerates that difference between the two sounds. You know, so it's kind of like you can sort of go from. And if I flick the pickup switch up, so you get a darker, rounder sound. You know, it's like a smooth Malbec. You know, it's got a kind of richness. You know, but so that's kind of why we have two pickups, so that, you know, I mean, if I do it unplugged, you know, it's almost like having two completely different guitars. You know, it's like they're not remotely similar sounds. So yeah, so if you want to amplify that and you want to kind of make the most of the difference between these two pickups, picking the string in two different places, you've got different pickups. You know, so you know, you can wildly change the sound. Now on this guitar, this is the same configuration you get on a Gibson Les Paul or a Gibson SG, that sort of thing, where there are four knobs. Now, what the hell do they do? The ones closest to your hand, that one and that one, when you're playing, are the two volume controls, and there's a different volume control for each pickup. This one, the one that's sort of, it's probably the easiest one to get to in a way, even though it's a little bit further away than that one, because the way this is angled, it's quite easy to sort of, you know, I can sort of just use my little finger. Little fingers come in handy for adjusting things. To just turn the volume down, you know. What what I've got to say about all these knobs is they only reduce what comes out of these pickups. They don't add anything. You know, it's like they just kind of cut things down. So these two cut down the amount of volume that comes out. These two cut down the amount of treble, and so I can demonstrate that. So I'm on the bridge pickup at the moment, which is the most trebly sounding pickup. In fact, on Gibsons, then where the switch is, they normally have rhythm and treble labelled. So rhythm's at the tops because they refer to that as the rhythm pickup. I never play rhythm on the neck pickup, unless it's a clean sound. But either way, so this is the most tinny sound. That's the tone control for the bridge pickup. So if I turn that down, it gets rid of all the treble, gets rid of all the top end, all the hot, the tinniness, if you like. So in a way, it's almost the same as picking the strings there, you know. But it's even, if you turn it off altogether, it's even more kind of pronounced. So if you want the biggest variety of sounds you can get just by flicking this switch from one pickup to another, what you do is turn the tone on the neck pickup off, turn that all the way down, and keep the two volumes up full, so you can, you know, so you don't lose any sort of volume as you switch from one to the other. It's almost like sort of taking a blanket off when you switch from the neck pickup without any tone to the bridge pickup with full tone. It's almost like opening your eyes, you know, or taking your earplugs out. Now I'm going to get a little bit more in depth. A lot of people prefer single coil pickups, you know, on guitars such as Fender Strats, Fender Teles, because it makes it easier to get a good clean sound. Now you notice I'm using a clean sound now. I'm plugged in through my Boss GT8, and that's got an acoustic simulator on there, which is it's not too bad. It doesn't sound exactly like an acoustic, but at the moment I'm only using the humbuckers. Well, if you've got a Les Paul or an SG or another guitar that's got two humbuckers on it, and you want a good clean sound, my top tip is to replace one of your tone knobs, preferably the neck pickup one, with one that acts as a switch as well as the tone. So I can sort of pull this out, push it in again. When I pull it out, it turns this pickup into a single coil pickup, so you get a thinner sound. So it's like this. So this is what it sounds like normally. If I pull that out, it's subtle. It is subtle. See, that sounds a bit mushy, and that's the characteristic you tend to get when you use humbucking pickups through a clean channel on an amp. You know, they are a little bit mushy, you know. So, but if you use the coil tap, yeah, you get a really nice clean sound, you know. So that's kind of it, really, with the you know, the different the pickups. I've only demonstrated it using a clean sound. So I mean, if I put a bit of distortion on for you, just so you can hear what difference the distortion makes when you're using different pickups. So this is my rhythm sound. So. I can play leads using this sound, and I have done on a few of my videos. As long as the guitar's on its own, it's fine. You know, it's you can sort of hear. Cool. So when I'm playing that kind of stuff, I tend to leave it on the bridge pickup. In fact, 90% of what I do is on the bridge pickup. You know, the neck pickup is something I tend to use either if I need a clean sound, so I can use the coil tap thing on it, or if I'm just doing something I want a more, I don't know, a more bluesy feel. If you. Again, it's a smoother sound, you know. I mean, you can hear it, you know, if I sort of just flick quickly between them. So it's a softer sound, you know, straight away. It's kind of difficult to make artificial harmonics, pinched harmonics. No such thing as artificial harmonics. All harmonics are real. So you can get them. But compared with the bridge pickup, you know, so that really sings, you know, it's like, so if you want to do pinched harmonics, the bridge pickup is the one to use, you know, so. The neck pickup sounds great if you're doing long sort of fluid runs, you know, so from the fat E to the thin E. You know, so you might do something a bit more raunchy. So if you're doing a guitar solo, you know, you might sort of. And say if I want to sort of do a big run from the bottom to the top, I might just flick to the neck pickup. And say when I get back to the top, I'll sort of just flick it over to the bridge, you know, and it just makes it scream a little bit, you know, when you want it to. Things like sweeping always sound nice on the neck pickup. The neck pickup tends to be a little bit more forgiving for that type of technique. And you get that nice kind of fruity sound as well. You know, it's got a lot of character, the neck pickup. I mean, you can tell there's still quite a bit of treble on my neck pickup there. So I mean, I can always cut it down a little bit. Maybe not get rid of it altogether. Maybe just have it on. If there was a dial on that, if there were numbers, I might have it on 3, just to sort of. So it's still got a little bit of fruitiness. Now, one thing I haven't mentioned or I haven't talked about is the in-between setting. I've never had a use for this. I've got to be honest. In all the years I've been playing, I've never sort of been interested in the sound that you get from having the 2 pickups on. Sometimes, you know, if you're after a particular sound and you can't be bothered to adjust your amp and your pedals and stuff, you know, sometimes you might get what you're looking for by having it in the middle position. Having the 2 pickups on doesn't make it twice as loud. You know, it doesn't change the volume at all. I mean, what I tend to find is it it's a compromise, you know, and I prefer to have either one thing or the other. You know, having the two together to me doesn't add anything to the sound, you know. So weird thing is though, when you've got it on the middle setting, if one of the pickups is off, you don't get any sound, even if the other pickup volume is up quite high. You know, it's nothing happens until I turn that one on. But you can mix and match. You know, you can sort of have, say, if I want, say, maybe have just a tiny little bit of neck pickup and have the bridge pickup on full. So then it's not that different to just having the bridge pickup on its own. So it doesn't make a lot of difference really. So I've never really seen the point of using the two pickups together. If you've got a control set up the same as this, there's one final thing I'm going to show you, and it's the kill switch effect. If you turn one of the pickups off, keep the switch in the middle setting for now, and turn the other volume full. So I'm going to keep the bridge full and the neck pickup off, and I'm going to play something, and you can use the selector switch as a kill switch, you know. So hours of fun, you know, just experiment with that until your heart's content. It can be Rage Against the Machine all night. So yeah, I mean, hopefully that's shed a little bit of light on why you have different pickups and what the different controls do. Guitars like Ibanez's, Jacksons, they tend to just have one volume and one tone and one switch, you know, so the knob that's closest to your playing hand, to your picking hand, is the volume. The guitar manufacturers tend to put the tone out of the way because they don't tend to get used a lot, you know, so it's better to have the volumes close. Oh, there's something else might be worth mentioning. There's a technique called violining, where to kind of simulate the sound that you get from a violin bow, instead of so that you don't hear the plectrum hitting the string, you can sort of pick the string. Eddie Van Halen used this to good effect on a piece called Cathedral, where he got a load of echo on his guitar sound, and so you don't have to pick the strings for this to work. You can just hammer them on. You just got to remember to sort of create the note first while the volume's off, and then bring the volume up before the note dies, you know, so it's... So that technique sounds a lot better when you've got a bit of echo in the system, but either way, that's another thing you can do with your guitar, which doesn't involve plugging it into any you know, crazy effects and things like that, you know, so the guitar can just do that without you having to add anything to it. Cool, that's it for the lesson on the guitar controls. So hope you got something out of that, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.